Hi, and welcome back to 10th Predictions with Ryan. Today, I'll be reviewing the Abierto GNP Seguros tournament in Monterrey, Mexico. Before we get into this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, let's start. Up at this first quarter, we have the number 1 seed and the number 5 seed, Stevens and Watson. The first match, you have Stevens versus a qualifier or a lucky loser. Stevens should have no problem winning here. Straight sets for her. Next, you have Vandy versus Fernandez. Pretty interesting match here. Vandy's still recovering from an injury. But I'm going to go Fernandez in 3 sets. Next, you have Dolhide versus Kuzmova. Kuzmova is pretty good and pretty reliable, but never really makes it too far in tournaments. But anyway, I'm going to go with Kuzmova in straight sets over Carolina Dolhide. Danka Kovanic versus Heather Watson. Kovanic, I don't think think Kovanic has won a non-ITF match all year. I'm gonna go Watson in straight sets. Next match, you have Stevens Fernandez. Very interesting match here. Fernandez is young. She's coming up. I really like her this year. She's kind of someone good to pick. And I'm gonna go this is a bold prediction here. But I'm gonna go Fernandez winning it. Stevens is still kind of getting back into the groove of things. I haven't seen her very much this year. So I'm going to go Fernandez in 3 sets. Fernandez will edge out the victory over the number 1 seed and advance to the quarterfinals. Kuzmova versus Watson. Interesting match here, 5 seed here, but I'm going to go with Kuzmova. Kuzmova is I feel like will play better against Watson, and especially that Watson can sometimes be really close and really aggressive, or sometimes she can be a little wonky and not play her best and lose badly. I'm going to go Kuzmova in straight sets. Next, we have the 9 seed. The 9 seed is now Habino. She got the seed because Elise Mertens withdrew from the tournament, I'm pretty sure. I could be incorrect. No, it doesn't say who it withdrew, but there's supposed to be only 8 seeds. But anyway, Habino will be playing Jasmine Paolini in the first round. And I'm going to go with a very interesting match here. I'm going to go Habino in 3 sets. Next, you have Anna Karolina Schmiedlova versus Katie Bolter. I'm going to go Schmiedlova in straight sets. I think Schmiedlova is pretty strong and pretty competitive. And Katie Bolter isn't that competitive, but she's a pretty good all-around game. So pretty close match here, but Schmiedlova should win it in 3 sets. Qualifier versus lucky loser versus qualifier or lucky loser. Qualifier. Next is you have a qualifier versus Cerebus Tormo. Cerebus Tormo just won Guadalajara, and so there should be no reason why Cerebus Tormo doesn't win this in straight sets. Next we have Habino versus Schmiedlova. I'm going to go Habino in straight sets. Qualifier versus Cerebus Tormo. Same, Cerebus Tormo should comfortably win this, playing 2 qualifiers. Easy path for her to the quarterfinals. Next, we have Ann Lee versus Arangsta Roos. I'm going to go Ann Lee in straight sets. Ann Lee is pretty consistent, and to be honest, Roos is kind of slowing down. She doesn't really win much anymore. She gets a nice win here and there, and then she'll fall in the next, in the third round maybe at her best. But anyway, next you have Renata Zarazuwa versus Tamara Zidzanek. This is a very interesting match here. Zidansek beat the 3 seed Blinkova in a previous tournament recently. And Zarazuwa was a home favorite, it's a Mexico tournament. So close match here, but I'm going to go with Zarazuwa in 3 close sets. Zhu Lin versus Jeannie Bouchard. Bouchard just made it to the final, so it's looking pretty good for Bouchard fans out there. But I'm going to think she's going to win this match as well over Zhu Lin. Win this in straight sets. And yeah. Guccifer versus Sai Saijiang. I kind of don't pick Sai Saijiang. I find her to be a little bit unpredictable. So I don't really pick her when someone else like Guccifer to to pick. So I'm going to go Guccifer over Zhang in straight sets here. Guccifer should be able to edge her out. Next, we have Lee versus Zarazuwa. Lee versus Zarazuwa. And Boucher versus Guccifer. I think Lee versus Zarazuwa is going to be a pretty interesting match, assuming that it happens. But I'm going to go Zarazuwa in straight sets. I think the crowd will get her there. And finish what she started last tournament. Boucher versus Guccifer. Pretty interesting one here, but I'm going to go Guccifer. I think Boucher won't be able to keep her winning form going, and she'll crash out in the second round. We have next, and then in this final, we have Blinkova versus Lucky Loser, the first match. And I'm going to go with a qualifier or Lucky Loser, because Blinkova has lost a lot recently. And I feel like she's not ranked 70th, but she is. But I feel like she's ranked lower than what she is. I feel like she plays lower than what she is. So I'm going to go with the qualifier. Qualifier, maybe, hopefully someone that's young, like, who really wants to win this year. You know, maybe put their name on the map and have a really nice aggression over on her. But yeah, I'm going to go with the qualifier in straight sets. Another qualifier versus Lauren Davis. Straight sets. Trevisan versus Stojanovic. Trevisan was a lucky loser in Dubai, but she lost very early to Garcia. I'm going to go with Nina Stojanovic over Trevisan in 3 sets here. Interesting match, though. 2 unseeded, pretty interesting match. I'll just leave it at that. Podorowska versus qualifier. Podorowska in straight sets. Qualifier versus Davis. In 3 sets. I feel like that qualifier who I'm just giving a stereotypical qualifier, a young one who wants to win it, make it pretty far, get some points under their belt, etc., etc. But I think it'll be a 3-setter, but Davis should be able to win it. And Stojanovic versus Podorowska. Interesting match here, but Podorowska should have no problem winning there. In the quarterfinals here, we have Fernandez Kuzmova, Habino Sribas Tormo, Zarazuwa Guccifer, and Davis Podorowska. Up at this top one, we have Fernandez versus Kuzmova. I'm going to go with Fernandez in straight sets. I like Fernandez. She's strong, competitive, and she has a goal to become one of the best. So I acknowledge that, and I find that someone who wants to win and who will win. I do think she can eventually win a Grand Slam, as long as she stays on the pace that she's at. So I'm going to go Fernandez in 3 sets over a difficult Victoria Kuzmova. Habino versus Sribas Tormo. I can't really bet against Sribas Tormo right now. She's winning, she just won her first title. So I think this is going to be her some of her motivation to keep it going in Monterrey. So I'm going to go Sribas Tormo in 3 sets. Zarazuwa versus Guccifer. Interesting match. 2 unseeded players, a wild card. Not much to say here, but Guccifer has more of a tougher draw here. You know, beating the 3 seed and then beating Boucher. I think that kind of tells me that she's on a winning right now. She's doing pretty well to win. And so I'm going to go Guccifer in 3 extremely close sets. And the final quarterfinal is Davis versus Podorowska. I'm going to take Davis on a pick from history repeating itself in a way, because last tournament Podorowska was the 1 seed in Guadalajara, won her first match in 3, and then lost to Cosieretto, and so this kind of tells me that she's not amazing on hard. I mean, she's amazing on clay court. So if this was a clay court tournament, I'd be pick her Davis. No Davis, but Podorowska would win this tournament if it was on clay. But since it's on hard, I'm gonna go Davis on 3 sets. Podorowska's gonna put up a fight, but Davis is gonna get her. Now in the final, we have final part. We have Fernandez, Sribas Tormo, Guccifer, and Davis. Up at the top, we have Fernandez, Sribas Tormo. Probably the best match in this tournament so far. And I'm going to go Sribas Tormo in extremely close 2 sets with Fernandez. Keeping it close the whole good time. It's always being a little bit behind and not being able to catch up. So Service Tormo has booked a spot into the final. And then Guccifer versus Davis. I like Guccifer in this tournament. Davis will probably be a bit tired from her run, you know. Beating a qualifier, beating another qualifier, and then beating Podorowska, which must be tough. Which is a tough match there. So I'm going to go Guccifer in straight sets. The final here, we have Service Tormo versus Guccifer. And I'm going to go Service Tormo in straight sets. She's going to win her second straight tournament. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button and like the video. And yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.